Almost 10 years ago, I left everything behind in search of something different, and I'm about to do it again. It was 2017, nearly a decade ago. I had just narrowly escaped a very toxic and terrible relationship, and I had just graduated. And at the tender age of 26, I left with a one-way ticket to find myself somewhere out there in the world. And at the end of that journey, I did in fact become a totally different version of myself, a version of me that I don't think I could have become without that specific experience. But at that time, in 2017, I knew deep down the reason for why I left. I was absolutely running away from myself and the life that I was living. I wasn't ready to join the corporate world or even to pursue continued education. Basically, I was clueless, directionless, out of ideas, and I felt this pressing need to start adulting, yet I felt nowhere near ready. And I did not know what I wanted to do or how I wanted to take the next step of my life. And for some reason, I held on to this one belief, and I don't know where this belief came from, but maybe I was just desperate and needed something to hold on to as this hope. And the belief was that if I took the chance and found the courage to go find myself alone out there in the world, my next step or clarity would find me somewhere along the way. But in many unexpected ways, I did end up finding more clarity and becoming really more of myself. But it would be another 9 years and a lot of roller coaster rides of ups and downs. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you are currently in your mid or even late 20s, feeling lost and unsure, feeling this pressure or anxiety about needing to figure everything out, I hope this brings you a little bit of relief. Your 20s doesn't always have to make sense, and it might not make any sense. Maybe it can be treated more like a playground for exploration or experimentation. I know that's certainly what I did. I still am doing that, and I hope I'll do that for the rest of my life, but I know the pressure of being in your mid to late 20s, approaching your 30s, feeling like you have to have everything figured out. In my experience, between the ages of 25 to 35, I had gotten in and out of 3 long-term relationships, traveled the world, built a full-time income by creating travel content while working part-time in vineyards and selling perfume in an airport, lost all of it, then worked for a startup, became a personal trainer, entered the corporate world for the first time in my 30s, and then left it. And I'm now starting my own business again. Oh, and in a really wonderful new relationship. I'm actually just a few months shy of 35, and I am choosing to start all over again. Which is kind of funny because when my original travel channel was hacked and deleted back in 2021, and I decided to start a new one, the whole idea behind it, and even still today, the tagline of the channel says begin again. And this is a belief that I've learned along my travels, meeting different people, listening to podcasts and people telling their stories. And it's this belief and this idea that it's never too late to begin again. As mentioned previously, I also just quit that corporate 9-to-5 job late last year to restart my own business. This time creating content and working with one-on-one clients who wishes to build the most important relationship with themselves, which is the one right here. But perhaps the biggest part of starting over this time around is moving. Not just from one place to another, but my boyfriend and I, along with our dog, are planning a 12-month-long trip, travel slowly across the US from the West Coast to the East Coast. Whenever I tell people this, they immediately visualize or ask me, are you doing van life? And no shade to people that do van life. I know there's a lot of people that really love it. I think for me, the days of skipping showers and sharing rooms with strangers in a hostel are behind me. Not to say that I wouldn't ever do it again, but I think it just makes more sense given our specific situation. And plus, we do have to work regularly, so having a reliable internet is a must. It's been nearly a decade since my last long-term travel trip, and as much as I actively rebel against societal norms and expectations to a degree, I did start to think or believe that this is the time or age to start settling down and putting down roots, building a community, instead of continue to wander around. Yet there's also a very active and alive part of me that believes I'll always feel restless in one place. And I don't just mean a restlessness that can be soothed by vacations. I mean, there's this deep desire for me to experience the world, and that if I don't get to do that, I would wish for a time machine during my final breath. I've never felt a sense of full home and belonging in one place. I don't know if that place even exists, and maybe it does, and I just haven't stumbled upon it, or I haven't decided on it. A part of me wonders if I still have the youthful agility and adaptability to be constantly on the move in this way. I'm learning that wanting stability and wanting adventure can coexist at the same time in the same person. And as of now, I can't foresee what kind of lessons and insights are waiting for us on the road, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty. How will it test my ability to adapt? How will I be able to make new friends and leaving my current friends behind? How will it test our relationship? And how will I be able to prioritize my health and wellness emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually? I guess all those questions will be answered in due time, but for now, they're just questions for me to hold. But something is fundamentally different about this time around. I'm no longer trying to run away from myself or my life. Through nearly a decade of experiences, healing, personal evolution, I've come to realize that no matter how far you try to run to any corner of the world or into new circumstances, there's no place far enough that you can run from yourself. But not only that, I no longer want to run away from any part of myself, and I think that has contributed to the most peace I've felt in here. I truly believe that movement and change can be the thing that save us, or it could be a mere distraction. But maybe the difference is whether or not you're running from yourself or you're planning to bring all of you along. This trip is entirely different from the one I embarked on 10 years ago, and I see it as a way for me to discover more of life, more of myself, and learning how to better surrender to change and allow these new places, experiences, and people to push me outside of my current comfort zone. I can imagine the younger version of myself in disbelief if I got to travel back in time and tell her that this is about to happen 10 years later. But I do think she would be very happy and proud of me, or us. So for this year, my word of the year is possibilities. And whether you've been here since my early travel days or you're new to the channel, I hope you'll follow along and join me on this new chapter and new adventure. If you want more, you can find all of my offerings on my website, diajin.com, along with my Substack and social media. Everything will be linked down below. And until next time.